Morning to all our viewers today. Today we have a very young and dynamic face with us. He joined politics after doing a lot of social work in the community and advising several businesses. He primarily campaigned for increasing employment, ensuring livelihoods for the fishermen, improved healthcare, improved standard of living, and tourism to increase tourism in the island constituency. Presently, he is on the member of consultative committee for minority affairs, as well as he is on the member of committee for the home affairs. We all would like to welcome Shri Mohameed Faizal, the Member of Parliament from Lakshadweep Island, the very most beautiful place. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, at a very young age, you have achieved so much. We would like to understand your journey and your hardships in politics.
See, my social service started in the sense like my entry into politics was started from my student life. We have a student organization called Lakshadweep Students Association, which is, in Lakshadweep, one of the, pioneer student organizations started since 1970. So I was the General Secretary for Lakshadweep Students Association during my college days. From there onwards, the journey into this present position, while I was suggested by my party to contest in 2014, really was considered based on my student life and my issues pertaining to the students taken up during those period was the major consideration of my party to be placed as a candidate for 2014 election for the Lok Sabha. So I started my as a General Secretary of the Lakshadweep Students Association, wherein at that point of time, Lakshadweep is a place where we don't have, higher education colleges as we have at least 3 in place. During those time, we mainly depend, Kerala for our graduation and post-graduation courses. So the present system of Kerala government, which under the Kerala government, like Calicut University, Kerala University, Mahatma Gandhi University, Kannur University, Cochin University, all these universities where Kerala government has given as a special consideration that a supernumerary seat will be granted to any student of Lakshadweep who are sponsored by the Lakshadweep administration. So any colleges affiliated to these universities for undergoing any undergraduate course or postgraduate course, they are entitled for a seat which is additionally created for Lakshadweep students. So this was an achievement of our Lakshadweep Students Association at that point of time. We met the vice chancellors, we met the government at that in power. So they made a special ruling that any student from Lakshadweep coming as a sponsored candidate of Lakshadweep administration shall be considered for admission in any of the colleges affiliated under these universities. So that was really a milestone for students of Lakshadweep, that they can pursue their interested courses in the various degree colleges under various universities of Kerala. So that was something very influential, and we could get the support of all the students across the Lakshadweep. So that then the scholarship issue, which was actually long pending for the students, like it was not revised for quite a long time. So those students who are staying in the hostels, their mess fees, their scholarships, their all other required assistance, which was supposed to be enhanced for quite long time. So it happened in 2004, 2005, first time after a gap of 10 to 15 to 20 years. So that was again, we initiated, the Lakshadweep Students Association initiated at that time, sitting MP Dr. P.P. Kwaya Sahab raised the issue in the parliament. And through that, his intervention, the scholarship was enhanced for the students who are studying across the country. So that was again a second milestone for the students. Then got many other courses. We started, we have started three university centers in three islands, like those we can pursue, courses of BCom, aquaculture, economics, political science, such courses, and even School of Education, Director of, B.Ed courses, certain courses which we started in Lakshadweep itself. So we have three study centers of Calicut University in three islands, namely Androth, Kedmat, and Kavarat. So that all those things actually yielded and got in place because of the continuous effort of our association, Lakshadweep Friends Association. So it has really benefited the students of Lakshadweep in a mass. So that was actually my journey coming into this position. And immediately after my studies, like I completed my MBA from Calicut University in 2000. Then after that, I took the charge of the youth wing as a general secretary of the party. So from there, the Kavarati being the capital island of Lakshadweep, all the major decisions and decision making bodies were present in Kavarati. So service to the people were taken into consideration, and we have been meeting the people and taking the issues to the administration, and things were taken, in a standardized way. So all the services to the people, and we were really associated and remained very close to the people and their issues, and it was taken to the appropriate level. So then finally, when in 2014, when a call came before the party that a young and youth should be the candidate for the 2014 Lok Sabha election, that is the 16th Lok Sabha. So party decided that a candidate should be, from my island, Androth, which is the most populous island, and party unanimously decided that I should be given a chance to contest. So by at that time, I was under an assignment in the Department of Tourism as a project associate, working from 2010 to or 10 onwards that time. So party requested me to accept the proposal. Then, in fact, I never expected that. I was never anticipating such an offer from my party at that moment. And since party insisted for that, so finally, and since that is it's a responsibility of a disciplined and obedient party worker to accept the challenge, because that it's Lakshadweep was ruled by Congress party for 36 to 42 years continuously. It was a deep rooted Congress field, and uh, to that point of time in 2014, when I was coming into the field, it was really a tough task, to topple or to change the present scenario, such a deep-rooted party from the power to make a change. So it was really a uphill task for me and for my party. But when a party assigns a responsibility and party decides something, as an obedient worker, I have to accept it. Then it was decided that I will be, contesting in the 16th Lok Sabha, and finally contested, and people of Lakshadweep have supported me, and I would be the person like literally walked into each and every houses of 10 inhabited island of Lakshadweep. Though the population is very less, say now the 2011 census as per record is 64, but as of now it is 70,000. But to make a campaign of entire 10 inhabited island, it took nearly 2 to 3 months for me to complete the campaign, and stepping into all the houses and knocking the doors, and winning the confidence of the people, and asking for their help to get in a change, and what are the things, if you give me a chance, I wish to do, which was very openly communicated to the people. And entire people of Lakshadweep given me a chance in 2014 to come into the temple of this democracy. This is the journey how I started.
Wonderful, sir. So you have been an accelerator and enabler of change in the most beautiful island that India has. So
It's all
lately,
because of the blessing of the people.
yes, indeed, indeed. So lately, there are many questions about the recent land reforms proposed
Yeah.
in the island. What are your thoughts on these things, sir?
See, first of all, the viewers, the spectators must understand one thing, that Lakshadweep is a place where the entire land belongs to the people of Lakshadweep. And the second part is that constitutionally, we have been protected in a way that no outside persons, like anybody who is born and brought up in a native and ethnic person of Lakshadweep, other than that person, cannot buy a land directly from there, because it is a protected land. So, once a protected land is there, and any changes or any attempt to grab the land by way of bringing in a piece of legislation, or some government official empowered to take over the land with or without the consent of the people, as a part of an authority for development. Here, the point is, one must not confuse that Lakshadweep, we are against the development. We are not at all. We are for the development, and for the last 5 to 6 years, we are striving hard for improving our connectivity, improving our network connectivity, internet connectivity, because it is far-flung islands. It is one the task for us to move from one island to the other island is equally from one island to the mainland. Mainland, we say it is Cochin, Mangalore. So it is so the lot many bottlenecks and tasks are before us. So we are considering all those things. We are really wanted to have a development which is environmentally suitable, because it is a very fragile ecology. One cannot have a Singapore plan in Lakshadweep because it's a very small place. So what exactly the land reforms, why we people of Lakshadweep object is, most of the things which is envisaged in that land reform is, one way, the power of people say on their own land is being taken away. Because when an authority identifies a place, says that it is for the development, then the people don't have any say on that, that they cannot even object to, if the government is going ahead with the land acquisition, and land acquisition, they won't pay any penny for that. Secondly, if an area is identified for the development, and if any dwellings are inside that area, and they have to pay 2 lakh rupee annually as a fee to the authority for the renewal of their license. So the present house, which actually falls in, say, my own house, if it is falling in an area of development, I have to pay 20,000, 2 lakh rupees annually for renewal in 2 years to renew my permission to continue my house there. So there are such controversial things. The third most important part is in this land reforms, development authority bill, where Lakshadweep people are protesting widely. In that, they are talking about 20 to 25-meter broader concrete roads, trams, minings, quarries, which totally have, will vanish Lakshadweep in if this at the present mode of, what is proposed in the land reforms are implemented. The in very few years, Lakshadweep will not be there in the sea. It will be vanishing because there is, one must understand that Lakshadweep development has been outlined by an expert committee. That committee was headed by a retired Justice Mr. Ravindran, and there were a lot many experts in that. Like town plan commissioner was there, scientists were there, environmentalists were there. They took a detailed study. It was in 1 to 2 years complete study. They visited all the islands. So they put a framework. We call it as a Bible for development Lakshadweep, that is called Integrated Island Management Plan, which was accepted by the Government of India, Environment Ministry, and the notification, gazette notification was released by the Government of India in respect to that. So in that, it is very clearly mentioned for any development that for instance, if it is a government proposal or a private proposal, it should be passed through a local elected body, which is panchayat. So panchayat were not consulted before even member of parliament. I am from that point. I'm a member of parliament from that constituency. I was not consulted before making any draft of this. So there is a pre-legislative consultation process to be absorbed for any bringing in a piece of legislation. That legislative consultation should take place. So that was not taken place in that. Secondly, this was falling contrary to the Supreme Court's expert committee's decision, which is against the Government of India approved committee's decision, and they were going violation to that. So this is what, in a way, environmentally, it will not sustain in Lakshadweep. Secondly, the land protection by the constitution, which was given to the people of Lakshadweep, was taken away by way of a disguised making of a law, and the power of the land holder was given vested to the administrator. On that, we have been protesting, and that is the main reason for the recent protest of Lakshadweep people.
So thank you so much for sharing this, because I believe that this is a very important information that you have shared with all of us, and we all do stand by the people of Lakshadweep. So now, if in case this development process continues, what are the measures that you would undertake to curtail the climate change repercussions and to reinstill the land holding in the power of the landowner?
See, we have already taken up the matter in the Honorable High Court of Kerala. Not see, once a draft is on the pursuit, we cannot stay the draft because it's a process of making a law. The Supreme Court order is there, but we had gone to the High Court in such a way that we are not stopping the process of draft, but the very interest which need to be protected, like as I said, a pre-legislative consultation process need to be taken place before any piece of law is to be made up. We contested in that way, especially on this land reforms. We have highlighted to the Honorable High Court of Kerala that this land reform, draft, which is called as Lakshadweep Development Authority Regulation, which attracts wide protection for the people of Lakshadweep, need to be sent to an expert committee, like the committee which was constituted by the Supreme Court. That committee, there are two committees like who have analyzed, studied the things along with Justice Ravindran Commission. So what we have requested the Honorable High Court of Kerala is that this widely environmental impact assessment need to be done on this, because a normal person who is not concerned about the environment, or who is not aware of the environmental impact on this, how can he give a comment on the draft? He is not competent for that. So first of all, this draft has to go to the environment ministry, should send it to the expert committee. Let the expert committee analyze thread and wear of this draft, which actually, whether it is required for a place like Lakshadweep, and they should comment on that. Then it should come to the Panchayat, Lakshadweep Panchayat. The time frame given is for 1,000 days time. I think the tendering process is just completing. Once that is completed, then I think the Japan-based company have got the tender. NEC have the bidder for that. If that realizes, then the entire scenario of Lakshadweep is going to change. There will be lot many employment opportunity for youngsters. Lot many software, hardware companies can have their units there. Health sector, education, but transport sector, every sector will have a massive and much envisaged development will be, we can see by the establishing the suburban optical fiber. That is the, my prime concern of my development, which I have taken 3 parliament speeches on this network connectivity. Number 1 is that. Number 2 is the obviously the health improvement. Health sector we need to improve. So we are on the process of having more specialist doctors there, more infrastructure. Like from my MP led, I have given MRI scanning machines. Like for any expert scannings, we have to go to Kochi for that purpose alone. So it not only drains the pocket of the people, and apart from that, the travel cost from island to Cochin and stay in a lodge or a hotel and go to the hospital, and only that see the MRI scanning would be costing nearly 9,000 rupees. For that 9,000 rupees, he has to pay another 15 to 20,000 rupees for his transport and stay. So that is again a big expenditure for the people there. So we thought of having infrastructure there, like ultrasound scanning machine, CT scanning machine, MRI scanning machine, specialist doctors availability. By this time, there earlier, before me coming to the parliament, there were only 2 specialist doctors there. Now, now in place, we have 35 specialist doctors in 5 islands now. So that the improvement is on the trajectory. We are further still again, civil structures, hospital structures are being improved. That also going on in a better way. Third is the transportation, like the connectivity from island to island to mainland. That also need to be improved. For that, the Agati airport expansion to have a bigger airport in the sense like with environmental friendly constructions, which is suitable for the island, so that more flights can be operated to the island. So and Udan schemes can be taken into place, so that 50% of the seats can be reserved for the local people, which at a much cheaper rate they can connect, go to Cochin and come back and meeting the requirement. At the same time, the sea mode of transportation, ships, are also on the way of now nearly 5 more ships are on the construction to join the present fleet. Now we have nearly 7 all-weather passengers, and we have 6 or 7 speed vessels which is operated in the fair seasons. So all those transportation sector need to be streamlined, so that easy connectivity among the islands and island and mainland can be improved. So these are all. Then the of course the tourism, the economic sector. We have tourism. We have agriculture. We have the fisheries. These 3 sectors are the main economic development areas as far as Lakshadweep is concerned. Lakshadweep is blessed with 4.02 lakh square kilometer exclusive economic zone we have. But so far the exploited quantity is very less. So we need to have the infrastructure development there, so that the fishermen who goes for fishing have a confidence that whatever the catch they have will be preserved and it will be marketed to the right people. So that is a process which we are on it. And if you talk about the coconut, Lakshadweep is blessed with lush growth of coconut trees, which is purely organic. purely organic in the sense there is no fertilizer used for it. In one island, nearly 1.5 lakh coconut trees are there. So the raw materials availability is plenty for coconut, and coconut is a divine product. Nothing goes waste. So we are trying to put value addition to the coconut and the tourism. Of course, we are not at all against the tourism. We want tourism. So that is the only area we can bring in some employment, at the same time revenue generation. Then that too, we cannot compromise on the environmental issue, but we have to preserve our environment. With that preservation, the tourism policies are made. With that policy, we are focusing on the tourism development. This is actually the concept of my way forward for the coming years also.
Wonderful, sir. So Digital Parliament is an online app in which we connect the elected political leaders with the masses across. So I believe that since you have people spread across in the rural areas to far-fetched locations, we see that digital connection in the times that we live in is playing a very vital role to bridge the gap. What kind of features do you see in apps like this which are coming up, sir?
Really, it is connecting to the people. Digital connectivity is nowadays we can say the essential part of our life. Internet connectivity and digital platform. Earlier, our prime concern, food, shelter, and clothes. Now, along with that, internet is also an essential part now. Now, everyone is very associated and very close to the internet availability. And such platforms really improve. This would really give persons like us to communicate to the people individually, and it has a wide scope of range of reaching, and this is really a highly appreciable platform for people like us, and especially that is the initiative which you have taken is wonderful.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you so much. On this note, I would like to invite my fellow panelist, Mr. Sushil Kumar, to please come forth and ask his question.
Yeah, please.
So you're on mute.
Yeah. Mr. Faizal, you are doing fantastic work, and I am very much impressed what you narrated till now.
Yes.
I'm sure you are aware about the climate changes and its impact.
Yes. So
that sea levels are rising as an effect. And during your 20 years being there, subsequent to your study in the Ireland, you must have seen the rising levels.
Yes.
So what are your experiences? What are your plans to counter it?
See, that's what we are very much any developmental activity to Lakshadweep. Yeah. So we have a very well established guidelines. That is not by me or not by you. It was an expert committee appointed by the Supreme Court of India. Right. So in other places, you say that it is coastal zone regulation. But when it's come to the island, we say it's an integrated island management plan. Right. So we have a wider outline framework for what development we can have, what we cannot have. So right. Based on that, that is the Bible of any development for Lakshadweep. So yes. any development which are being envisaged for Lakshadweep should be in coordination or tandem with this framework. If we go against this, automatically it will be a disaster for the islands. So that we need to very much take, because that's what we are saying, the tourism, any development, we are for the development. But at the same time, if our environment is not protected, finally the next day, there won't be any island existing there. That's so correct. As you said, the global warming is an issue there. But fortunately, our corals, which is growing still now, right. It is so healthy still now. The ecosystem we maintain now also, it is not at all, presently it is not in a dangerous state. So we are very much concerned about our environment, and with the concern of the environment only, we are coping up with the development. Of course, we need the development, we need employment, we need economic growth, no doubt on that. And Lakshadweep is the most beautiful place. And as far as Maldives is concerned, the same atolls only, same archipelago. But of course, we need that to be developed. But this is a home to 70,000 people. And we cannot, put their life into stake for development. Of course, we need, but it should be with the tandem of the outline given by the expert committee. So that we will be going with that, and we are sure that if we are going with that, we can sustain for long years.
Great. Just a supplementary to it, renewable energy, in fact, helps to great extent in countering the climate change effects.
Yes.
So what are the works done as far as renewable energy is concerned up to now, and what are the plans ahead?
See, that was the present electrification is based on the diesel generation in all the islands.
That's correct.
So the diesel generation, of course, it is widely contributing contra to the environment, because the spillage of diesels, the storage yard, the diesel goes to the groundwater, and the island sand is porous, which can easily go down to the groundwater.
That's correct.
So it's all chance for the contamination of the groundwater. So
Right.
what is the way to minimize the diesel generation and to have a renewable energy? On that, we actually, from my side, I have taken up the matter that the government of India has announced a scheme called Kusum Yojana, in which we can have a solar rooftop panels.
Right.
From that, electricity can be generated and it can contribute to the common grid, so that the usage of the diesel can be minimized to the bare minimum, and we can utilize the renewable energy for the livelihood of the people. And it will be an income generation for the people also, because it is a very sunny island, and of course coconut trees are there, but still the latest technology says that even 6 hours of sunlight can give a much improved production of the energy there. So in fact, we are on that, and government of Lakshadweep administration have 100 kilowatt as of now solar panels in the land. Of course, that we cannot deforest or uproot the coconut trees for planting the solar panels. On that, we have taken in a different way that these solar panels can be placed in the lagoons of the water, so that a floating solar panels, in that we can produce 3 megawatt or 5 megawatt of energy, and it will be an area demarcated, and for that also environmental clearance is required, because it is lagoon is an area where it is the the preservation and conservation area of the corals and fish. So that need to be protected also. With that, how can we improve develop a solar panel inside the lagoon? Because lagoon is normally a calm area, so that renewable energy can be developed, and at the same time rooftop panels to the houses, where a scheme, the government of India scheme can be utilized. That 30% or 40%, I think, the subsidy scheme is there.
Yes.
So that need to be implemented very soon, and because of the COVID situation, things got delayed. So we are really on that. Once we see that Lakshadweep is a green energy area.
Yeah, that's great. In fact, just for your knowledge, NTPC Kayamkulam, I think you may be aware.
Yeah. I know that.
They have already installed 5 megawatt solar floating system.
Yeah.
And 90 megawatt is coming up further.
Yes. You know that Kerala, Cochin International Airport.
Yes.
You know that
100% solar.
100% solar, and they are supplying surplus energy to the grid. Yeah. So that's
correct.
Yeah, that is our success story that we are taking. We are taking their advice also, the expert teams, so that in future Lakshadweep entire island should be a green energy.
That's great.
Wonderful. So that will be like a truly sustainable island. We should say that. We have another question. Thank you so much, Sushilji, for the question. We have one more question from Mr. Neeraj Pradhan. He's from Kanpur. Neeraj, would you like to please come forth? Okay, I guess he's facing network challenges. His question is primarily around food processing industry in Lakshadweep.
Yeah.
what is the status of that, and how is it growing, the food
See,
processing industry?
so there are two areas of scope, as I said, for food processing industry in Lakshadweep. One is for the coconut and its value added products. Coconut is a product, you know, that it is all the parts of, the entire coconut is useful. And not only the coconut, oils, the husk, the shell, and each and every part, the fiber, everything is
Yes.
useful. So the processing unit have a wide scope for a coconut-based industry, and at the same time for the fish processing unit also, because these two things, Lakshadweep blessed with raw material availability. We need not go anywhere. You are, when you land in an island, you see that lush growth of coconut trees. You will see the greenery. In the one island would measuring around 3.2 square kilometer on an average. In this 3.2 square kilometer island, you can see 1.5 to 2 lakh coconut trees, which is fertile.
Yes.
It is purely organic. So anybody wish to in the sense, like, if his interest is an area for the business, would be coconut would be the best part, and second would be fisheries, the processing unit for fish, that the proper processing can be done and it can be preserved. It can, Lakshadweep tuna, which is a thoroughly hygienic one, because there is no effluent to the water. There is no big factories, no contaminated water is coming to the. So the fishes of Lakshadweep is so healthy, and the demand for the tuna, that means a special tuna called yellowfin tuna, and to Japanese the top brand of the grade of tuna is called sashimi grade. Sashimi means which will eat raw. You can eat raw. So that is the supreme quality of it. From that, it grade started. So to get that grade, we need to have a good processing, units in the. These two areas are very scopeful for anybody looking for an investment.
Wonderful. So thank you for answering all the questions so patiently, and sharing so much about this wonderful and beautiful place that you've been elected from. So any final message to all our viewers, future leaders, present constituency members, and fellow parliamentarians for Lakshadweep?
So it's like, I'm very happy interacting with this youth digital platform. Really, it is something, we are getting an opportunity to communicate what is in our mind and what are the things we are doing for constituencies. So it is really, I'm happy that this will be my people in Lakshadweep, and whoever, Mr. Sushil and Neeraj, who have just raised the questions. So this Lakshadweep is an area where there lies abundant scope for development, abundant opportunity for, because these all are virgin islands, on the safe field of tourism, in the field of fisheries, in the field of coconut development. These three areas beckon you with a lot of many scopes. So I wish that this platform gives an opportunity for any interested people to communicate back to us. For all the support, we are here. We will be, as a facilitator for you to, to get into, such an economic development. Together we will grow, or can contribute to the GDP of our country. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us, sir. We know that you've had a very difficult and tough day, and still you took so much of time to interact with us and all the people, and send across your message. We highly appreciate your dedication, and we are all standing by you with the virtues of courage, truth, and honesty. Thank you.